Flosstube. It's Carolyn Zook here with Zook Stitch. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by and spending part of your day with me. This is actually the second time I filmed this. I filmed it, I put everything away, and I went downstairs to start editing, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know what happened. So here we are again. I was a bit babbly in the first video, so hopefully I'll be a little more concise in this one. So let's just jump right in. I got great news. I have a finish. Pretty Little Hawaii by Satsuma Street is done. Whoops. I love it. I'm so happy I got it done. I've been off work this week. It's spring break in Oregon, and I just decided to take the week off work. I thought I'd get a lot of stitching done. I really didn't, but I made a big push in the last 3 days to get that done, and now it's done. I just finished it at 12:30 last night. Oh, I forgot to say the date. Today is Saturday, March 30th. You will probably see this Sunday morning on the 31st. So, Pretty Little Hawaii by Satsuma Street. I used the called for DMC floss, no changes, and the called for fabric, which is an 18 count fiddler's cloth in the color light oatmeal. I loved it. I posted this on Stitch Mania this morning, and we got in a conversation with some other folks who were working on either Pretty Little Hawaii or one of the other Pretty Little series, and we were talking about how it seems like it's a small, quick stitch, and it's really not. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of color changes in this piece. So this piece, and I already put away the chart, but it was something like 111 by 165 stitches, so it's not entirely small. I am planning on putting this in a frame. I don't know why I keep holding it up. I just like looking at a finished product. I'm not going to get it professionally framed. I just don't want to spend the money on custom framing for this. I'm going to look for a frame. 8 by 8 opening is what will fit this really nicely. So I'll just keep my eyes out for something like that. So we have a finish. Yay! I'm so happy. Next up, well, I'll talk about my plans in a minute. But next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about haul. I got a few things. I pulled everything out very haphazardly. I was so organized in the first video, but I was more babbly. This time I'm a little more disorganized, but hopefully more concise. I went to my LNS yesterday where I had a couple flosses. I'm not going to show them to you. They're just the water for Harbor Haven. Additional skeins of that came in. But Glitter House number 6 also came in. So I got that. I got on the D-Stash page on Facebook, it's called Good Deeds by Little House Needleworks by Diane Williams. Good Deeds. She was de-stashing this. It was a woman who used to own a stitching shop. And I have to fold this down because the chart is back here, but look at these colors. They're classic color works. Just gorgeous. And Good Deeds, it says be rich in good deeds. I might change that. Growing up, my parents always used to say we're rich in the ways that count, which is really annoying when you're a teenager and you just want a VCR, like everybody else has. But my parents always said, well, we're rich in the ways that count. And this kind of reminded me of that, be rich in good deeds. So I might try to change it and say, we're rich in the ways that count, or be rich in the ways that count, or something like that. So I picked that up because it just reminded me of my family. Hold on. I have to pause and go get something, and then I'll be right back. This is one of the things I'd put away. I also went to Joann's yesterday, and I picked up this unicorn cross stitch. My friend Sam, who I've mentioned a couple times on here. Hi, Sam. Sam, she really encouraged me to start Flosstube. She is not a stitcher, but she's just a really wonderful, dear friend of mine, very supportive, watches all the videos. She's coming to visit me. She lives in Memphis, and she's coming to visit me the weekend, 4th of July week. And I'm going to get her hooked on cross-stitching. That's our secret plan, is to get her hooked on cross-stitching. She's never done it before. She loves unicorns, so I picked this up for her thinking this might be a good first project. And on the back, it says you can choose from the 3 designs. Now, I don't know if that means all 3 patterns are included in this kit and you pick which one you want, because she would love the unicorn, which is why I got it, but she'd also love the one that says nope. So, I mean, if all 3 patterns are included, that's great, and I can just give her some scrap fabric to do both. But it's a wooden panel, so it's not fabric, so it might be a little easier for a first time. And it comes with a little wooden stand so you can make it stand up. So I'm going to make her, and I'm going to vlog it to see how she gets on with this. So that's my project for her. She does know it's coming, and she does know we're trying to convert her to being a stitcher. So she's well aware. Also at Joann's, so my birthday was last Friday, March 22nd. I had a wonderful birthday. I feel I'm so grateful for the people in my life. I feel so loved. I was taken out to eat, I don't know, maybe 4 days in a row. I didn't eat at home for any meal. And I also got a couple of gift cards to Joann's, which was wonderful. I got a gift card to my LNS for my folks, which I think I mentioned in the last video. And I got a couple gift cards to European Cross Stitch, so I can buy my first chatelaine kit. I also did get a chatelaine pattern, which I don't actually physically have in my hands, just because it was delivered to my friend's house and we haven't connected yet. So I got the chatelaine Evening in the Park, I think it's called, which is one of the ones I really want. And then I bought myself the PDF of Christmas Mandala Mystery. Those were the 2 chatelaines that really were tugging at me, and I just got paranoid that the patterns would go out. I don't know why. I haven't heard anything that they will go out of print or anything like that, but I just get paranoid. And so now at least I have the pattern, so even if they stop carrying the kits, again, I haven't heard that at all. It's just my mind, I don't want to miss out. So I at least have the patterns, and I can always kit it together myself. I believe she said that there was going to be a sale, a European cross stitch, the first part of April. So follow the Facebook group if you're interested in doing that. And so I'm holding off on buying anything more until that sale. So also at Joann's, when I was there, I did buy a bunch of fabric. I used to quilt, which I've mentioned on here before. I used to be a quilter. I don't quilt anymore. I haven't in years. And I got rid of all my fabric because it was just kind of one of those scraps here and there. And I have a good friend who is a seamstress, so I gave her my fabric. And now I got a new sewing machine for my birthday, so I have to rebuild up my fabric stash. So I did use the Joann gift cards for some fabric. I'm not going to show all that here. Unless you're interested, let me know. And I can show the fabric in the next video, just let me know. But because this is a cross-stitching channel, I figured maybe not everybody is interested in seeing the fabrics. I mostly got fabrics to make project bags, sewing machine cover, I don't know what else, finishing for the cross-stitch pieces that I do finish. I also got additional thing, like I got some zippers to add to my stash, some rotary blades for cutting the fabric, some finishing, tassels, doodad, things like that. The one thing I did want to show you fabric is last Saturday in Portland we had, there was a quilt show at the Expo Center, and I went with a couple friends. That's what I chose to do for my birthday. And I picked up these 2 beautiful, beautiful fabrics. They are a ½ yard each. Look at that fabric. And I wish you could feel it. It's the softest. I mean, it's such high quality. It's so soft, and it's just gorgeous fabric. And I got a coordinating. My new thing now is whenever I buy a piece, I'm going to buy a coordinating piece with it, just so I have something that goes with it. I say that now, famous last words. But I just thought these 2 would make a great project bag. Like this would be the outside and this would be the inside, or I don't know. But so it's a ½ yard each, and they're just gorgeous. So I did want to share that with you today. Now, let me share what I found when I was cleaning out my craft room. I will upload the craft room tour, which I filmed. I did not lose that footage, which is great. So that will be going up probably tonight, and you'll probably see the craft room tour before you see this You'll see the same shirt though. I wore my Hawaii shirt in honor of finishing Pretty Little Hawaii. But in cleaning out my craft room, I found a couple more pieces that my grandmother made that I'd like to share with you. You hear the bell? So this is some poinsettias. Look how pretty that is. And I'm so glad I found it. Now, I don't know when she made it. Probably in the 90s, I'm guessing. I assume she finished it, but I'm not sure. Has a little bell. The back is just finished with, I think it's probably just a muslin cloth. And it's hand sewn. Now, I don't know if you can see. Maybe you can see better on the other one. But she hand stitched the backing on it. And I'm pretty sure she did that herself. Because I don't know that sending stuff out to get finished was a thing back then. Anyway, that's one. So I will hang that up at Christmas. And then I found this one, which I love, that she did. It says, no matter where you may roam, the best part is coming home. I remember her either working on it or I remember hanging in her house for sure. Now, all of you who are worried about your borders meeting up, look at this. Grandma's border didn't meet up. She did not frog that out. She just made it work. And you know what? I didn't even notice till I was really up close and actually looking very closely at it. But if you're hanging it up, you can't even tell. So if your borders don't line up, just do what Grandma does. Just make it work. And then she finished it. And if anybody knows where I can get finishing things like this, like these wooden, if you could let me know. I looked at Joann's. I didn't see them. Of course, I didn't know what section to look in. I might look at Michael's. But this is how I want to finish the 12 Days of Stitchmas piece. I want to finish like this. And I'll probably do several finishings like this. Because it's just easy to store when it's out of season. So I will probably hang this in my craft room. So those were a couple more grandma pieces that I came across I wanted to share with you. So, plans. Let's talk about plans. Now that I'm done with Pretty Little Hawaii. And Jan Hicks, this is for you. Harbor Haven is my next start. Nobody yell at me. No, I'm just kidding. I know you won't yell at me. It's just been nagging at me. I got the fabric, which of course I forgot to pull back out. It's a vintage smoky white Lugana 25 count is what I bought. I purchased it. I have it on my person. It's ready to go. Except I can't figure out, because at first, so last Flosstube, I showed you the fabric, and I said, I'm going to do it over 2. The piece, so when you, Harbor Haven is 12 individual patterns that you do in a row. And you don't have to do them all in a row, but I bought all 12 patterns, so I'm going to do them all in a row. She has it designed, it's by the Bay Needle Arts. She has it designed so you could do 1 of the patterns or 2 of the patterns, and it would be beautiful. Of course, I bought all 12, so I'm doing all 12. It's 672 stitches long, and it's 84 stitches high. So the issue for me is that it's going to be really long, but I want it to be tall enough so that I can see it and that it makes sense. If I do 25 count over 1, I think it's something like 3.5 inches, which is not very tall. So at my LNS yesterday, Acorns and Threads, they had Harbor Haven started, and the height was really, really good. I liked the height. If I had to guess, I would have guessed it was 7 or 8 inches tall. And I was actually yesterday, so this was kind of at the end of the day when I went to the LNS, or end of my day. I had run a bunch of errands, and I was really dehydrated, and I was really warm. I was kind of overheated. Feeling a little woozy and lightheaded. So I think I spent 15 minutes in there. I picked up a couple of things, my glitter house and some floss, and I left. So I called them this morning and I said, okay, so that Harbor Haven piece, what size is that on? And I don't know who I talked to, but she was so wonderful and so patient with me. And she went and checked. So their piece is on a 32 count over 2. They do make the vintage smoky white in 32 count. I ordered the vintage smoky white in 32 count this morning. So it ends up, so the piece there, it was not 7 or 8 inches like I thought. I think it was 5.5 5.5, maybe 5.25 inches tall, but it looked taller than I expected. I had even taken out my ruler. This has been like, I'm excited to start it, but there's just something nagging at me about this piece, and I couldn't figure it out. And I think it's just the fabric. I don't want a 60-inch piece hanging on my wall, just because that's too much. So I'm going to do 32 count over 2. It's going to be something like 5.25 inches tall by, what did we decide? 42 inches wide, maybe? I can't remember now. It felt so much better, and as soon as I put that order in, I just felt this relief. Now, it means I can't start on it today because we had to order the fabric, so it might be a couple weeks yet before that comes in. So that's what's happening with Harbor Haven. They are kind enough. I haven't touched the 25 count fabric. It's still in great condition, so they said I could just exchange it, which is lovely of them. So I need to find another piece to work on. I don't know what I'm going to work on because this just all came up this morning, and right after I got off the phone with them, I filmed the craft room tour, and I filmed the first version of this video, and now I'm filming the second one. So I will figure out. I do have something in mind. I was thinking of starting this, which is by the Bay Needle Art Blue Hawaiian Garden. So this would be another Hawaii piece for the Hawaii wall. And I think this one is 102 stitches by 69, and it's stitched on 32 count gray linen. It says, I think I have some 28 count Monaco here in my stash, and I think if you do 28 count over 2, it's about 7 by 5 inches. So I might just start on that. It's just DMC. They look like pretty standard colors. So I might start on that. So, Jan, this will also make you very happy. My plan when I start Harbor Haven, because it's 12, and I pride myself on being a monogamous stitcher. No, I don't really care. That's the way I've always stitched. Always, since August. But with Harbor Haven, it was designed, because there's 12 patterns. So it was designed, each pattern was released one a month. So what I think I'll do is I'll do one section at the start of the month, and then I don't have any idea how long that will take me, and then if there's time left over, I will work on a second piece, so something like this. And then at the start of the next month, I'll pull Harbor Haven out, do that piece. So it will still take me a year, unless, I'm not tied to this, unless I really get on a roll. I can see me, at the beginning doing maybe 2 or 3 months in a row, and then switching over to something else. So, Jan, I might be a, what do you call, bimogenous stitcher. Binogenous stitcher. Anyway, 2. I might have 2. So I'm figuring out what to start while I wait for my fabric to come in. I'm a little disappointed, just that I really want to start it, and I've been talking about it for so long. But this feels like the right decision. And I realize it's just fabric. It's just cross stitch. It does not matter at the end of the day. But it's a lot of money to buy 12 patterns at once. And I'm seeing this for me as a piece, as sort of an heirloom piece that I will have on my walls. And I will get this one professionally framed and all that. So that's the update on Harbor Haven. So I don't know what I'm going to start next. It'll be a surprise. We'll see what we have going. But I'm guessing it might be this one if I have the supplies on hand. So that's where we're at. Okay, next up is giveaways. So last week I had 4 giveaways, and we have the winners. I just used random.org. So the first one is the European fruit towels, pear towels, and the winner is Kathy Ocasio. And actually, Kathy, you were the only one who wanted these, so you get them. I will reply to your comment, and if you can email me your address at czookstitch@gmail.com, and I'll put this in the comment when I reply as well. And these ones that are Rip Down magazines, I am going to trifold them, so I hope that's okay, just to save on shipping. So Kathy, you got the European fruit towels. A Breath of Spring, which is the quilt one. It's this one. Hydrum Cereals. I'm so sorry, Hydrum. Hydrum, you won. So email me your address, and I'll get that in the mail to you. And then the plums, Anna Nunez. Anna, you won these, so please send me your address and I will ship it out to you. And again, for these, you can be I'll ship it anywhere in the world. So just let me know your address. And then the last one was the dragons. This was just a freebie I got in some Charles Craft fabric. And it's the dragons. And it says make a wish. And Travis Wirtz, you won this one. So Travis, if you will send me your mailing address as well, I will get those in the mail to you. So congratulations to all the winners. And for this time, I have 5 charts. 3 of them are pulled out of magazines, and 2 of them are like pamphlet leaflets that I won't trifold. So the first one, and these are all from the early 2000s. This is just from Leisure Arch. I don't have a date on it. Here, let's try this. The pattern is on here. So the first one is this snow bunny. I realize it's the wrong season, but snow bunny. It's really cute. And this is a little bunny rabbit. I don't know if you can tell that. They have it finished in a peg frame, but you don't have to. So it's 72 stitches, not inches, 72 stitches wide by 91 high. Just calls for DMC. So if you'd like this, say, I'd like to stitch the snow bunny. I guess it's a little timely with Easter, maybe. Anyway, this next one, I love this next one. Joyful Santa. It is from Leisure Arts. I don't know the date. It's beautiful. And you get a free, on the back, the whole chart is there for this one. It just happened to be, so it's a home-cooked Christmas. And see what they did? I think this is so cute. So if you make homemade gifts, you know, bread or jam or whatever for the holidays, they just stitched the bread and attached it to that. So I thought that was really cute. So you get that chart as well. Santa is 105 stitches wide by 149 high, so it's a little larger. Called for DMC, and they're all color charts, right? So they're really nice charts. So if you want this, say, I'd like to stitch the Santa. Next, we have turkeys. It's called Turkey Time from Stitcher's World. Now, what you get the pattern you're going to get is for this piece. So it's all one piece, but what they did is they just pulled out separate motifs. So they have a bread basket cover, napkin, placemat. So you can do it however you want, but the actual pattern is stitched like this. So you could do it as a whole piece if you wanted to do that. And this is DMC called for. It is, looking for the stitch count. Doesn't really say a stitch count, but on the framed piece is 19 inches by 15 inches on 14 count. I don't see the stitch count, or I'm just not seeing it. So if you like this, say, I'd like to stitch the turkeys. Okay. Now these next 2 are the leaflets that I have. And again, these will not be tri-folded. First one is called Sewing Memories. So you get patterns for both of them is included in here. The fabric is called for 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. These are quite old, you know, so I don't know. I mean, it sounds like we would still carry that, but I know Monaco is in short supply. Anyway, the called for is anchor, but there is DMC conversions. So if you'd like this, say, I'd like to stitch the memories. All right. And then the next one, we have another quilting one. Amish Roadside Market by Diane Phelan. Isn't that cute? I think this is so pretty, and I think this is really pretty for spring or summer, because it's kind of, you got that with all the flowers and the quilts airing out from winter. I think that's really pretty. This is a beautiful chart. I mean, it's all in color. This is, the called for fabric is 14 count white Aida from Zweigart. Anchor is the called for, but there is DMC conversion. This is 182 stitches wide by 126 high, and it is basically, yeah, it is not basically, it is full coverage. So this would be a full, so you would be stitching everything in here. So this would be a big one. So if you'd like this, say I'd like to stitch the quilts. I think we had that last time as well. So those are the 5 giveaways for this week. Please don't say giveaway or free or anything like that, just to keep the trolls away. And I keep it open usually until the Friday before my next Flosstube, so about 2 weeks. And then Friday night I will pull the numbers and then comment on your comments. I think that's all I have for you today. So this one is about 10 minutes faster than the other one. I rambled a lot in the other one. But I think that's all I have today. So I will keep you posted. I'll be back in 2 weeks with an update on whatever it is I decide to work on. And I promise I will start Harbor Haven. You'll see, I promise. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by and spending part of your Sunday with me, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye.